welcome back to my channel. So we'll have a different discussion today about for loop. So we have discussed the two types of looping structures in our previous videos, which are while and do while loop. So we'll be discussing right now another type of looping structures, which is for loop. Okay. So a for loop is another repetition control structures that allows you to efficiently write a loop that needs to be executed, okay, a specific number of times. The difference of this in while loop and do while loop, it has a space for the increment, decrement, for the condition, and for any initializations that we will do. Okay, so let's start on the flow of control in the for loop. So here is the syntax. Okay, I'll post there a clear version of the syntax. So let's discuss the flow of control. So we always start with the initialization. So the initializations are the declaration and instantiation of the loop variable. If you can still remember in our while loop and do while loop, our initializations are outside the loop body. So in the loop variable, rather, it is outside the loop body or before the start of the loop. So in our for loop, there is a space for the loop variable declaration and instantiation or initialization. Okay, so our condition here is basically the Boolean expression, and then our update here is either increment or decrement. It depends on the requirement of the problem. And then statements. So let's discuss. We start here first with our initialization, and then we'll proceed to the condition. So it will test the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the statements to repeat or the statements inside the loop body. After executing the statements, it will proceed to the update or increment, decrement. After increment, decrement, it will go back to the condition. So if the condition is still true, so if it is true, it will execute again the statement, go to the update or the increment, decrement, and then go back to the condition. If the condition is still true, it will execute the statements, increment or decrement, and then condition. Now, if the condition now is false, so if it is false, it will terminate the for loop. Okay? So let's have a practice problem. Let's trace an output, create a code snippet, and trace the output for our practice problem. Okay, so I will show you here in the screen the practice problem for our for loop. So for our practice problem, create a program that will instantiate or initialize an integer to 5 and compute the sum from 1 to 5 and then display the sum. Okay? So we basically start with initializing the integer, an integer to 5. So we start with int n equals to 5. Okay? And then we'll start our for loop. Okay? So we start with 4. And then the first part, don't forget, is the initialization of our loop variable. Since we will start with 1, we will initialize it into 1. So int I is equal to 1. And then our condition here will be I is lesser than equal to 5. And then our update will be increment since it will be increasing. So I plus plus. Okay. Alright, so that is our for loop header. So the initialization of the loop variable I equals to 1. The condition I is lesser than equal to 5. And our update, which is to increment the value of I. So I plus plus. So inside our statement here, we basically need to compute the sum from 1 to 5. Okay? So we basically need pala to initialize a sum variable or a integer variable. We will initialize it to 0. Okay? So let's add a variable. Let's just put it on top of n. So int sum equals to 0. Okay. So int sum equals to 0. So we basically add sum with the value of I as it go on. So we will write here sum is equals to sum plus I. Okay? Kasi I will be incrementing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it will be added to our sum. Okay? So there is basically a shorter version for this. Sum is equals to sum plus I. We can just make it as sum plus equals to I. Okay? So this statement is basically, ito na statement is basically sum is equals to sum plus I. Shorter version lang yan. So you can just write sum plus equals to I. Okay? Alright, so I will not erase that, but please remember that it's not included in our code. So ito yung included, the sum plus equals to I. And then you don't need to write I plus plus here. In our previous video about while and do while, the increment and decrement or the update of the loop variable is inside the for loop. Okay, so you don't need to write it here. Okay, so because it is already written in our header, the I plus plus. So you can close the brace. Okay, so let's trace our code. So we do have 3 variables here. We do have the n is equals to 5. We do have the sum. We do have the sum and then we do have the I. Okay, so our sum starts with 0. Our I starts with 1. And then we'll be tracing on the output. So let's start. So sum is equals to 0, n equals to 5, and I equals to 1. And then we do have here I is lesser than equal to 5. So we started with I forget. This should be n. Okay, n. Okay, I is lesser equal to n, but it's still 5 basically. So I is lesser than equal to n, which is our current value of I is 1. So 1 is lesser than equal to 5. That is true. So it will execute sum plus equals to I. Okay? So sum plus equals to I. So, diba, it's the same with sum equals to sum plus I. So 0 is our current value of sum and our current value of I is 1. So 0 plus 1 is the next value of sum. So 0 plus I is, or 0 plus 1 is 1. So our new value of sum will be 1. Okay? Next will be, I'll just erase this. Ito na lang para mas madali. 0 plus 1. So our next new value of sum is 1. Okay. So increment natin ng I will become 2. So 2 is lesser than equal to 5. That is still true. So execute natin yung statement na sum plus equals to I. So this is the same. So our new value of sum, or current value of sum is 1. And then our current value of I is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So our new value of sum is 3. And then increment I 3. So 3 is lesser than equal to n. That is true. So sum plus equals to I. Our current value of sum is 3. So our current value of I is 3. So 3 plus 3 equals to 6. Okay? So our new value of sum is 6. Increment natin ng I, it will become 4. So 4 is lesser than equal to n, or 5 is still true. So sum plus equals to I. So our current value of sum is 6 plus our current value of I is 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Our new value of sum is 10. Okay? And then I, increment natin ang I maging 5. So 5 is lesser than equal to 5. That is still true. Sum plus equals to I. So our current value of sum is 10 plus the current value of I, which is 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. So 15 ang new value ng ating sum is 15. So increment natin ng I maging 6. So 6 is lesser than equal to n is false. Okay? So it will terminate the for loop. So let's put another statement here. Nakalimutan ko, sorry. So system.print ln. So let's just write sum. Okay? So usually we put some message here. Let's say the sum is, but we have a small screen, so I'll just write sum. So our output here is the value of sum now, which is basically 15. So it will print 15 in our output. Okay? So that is our practice problem and tracing the output here. So we will be having a coding for our for loop. So this is the practice problem of our for loop. Okay, so this will be our practice problem for our coding in for loop. So we basically had a discussion of our control flow, the syntax of for loop earlier. So let me read the problem. Create a program that will ask the user a number and display the squared values from 1 to n. Okay, so I will do this in NetBeans. So I already created a NetBeans project here and imported scanner. You can use JOption pane if you want to. So we will be instantiating a scanner object here. Okay. And we will need to declare a number, an integer variable. Okay, so let's use int n, and then we'll be asking for a number from the user. Enter a number. Okay, so n is equal to sc.nextInt. So whatever the user will input will be stored to n, and we'll be starting our for loop. So for int I is equals to 1. Okay, this is our initialization of our loop variable, which is I. Then I is lesser than or equal to n. So and then our update I++. Okay, we will need. So it will just print the squared value. So print. So let's use print ln. So let's say we want to print. So let's print a header first. Okay. Print tayo ng header. We will print number, and then let's print /t dash, and then value, squared value. Yeah. So sorry. And then we'll print I and then slash t. Let's see later, no? Okay ba na isa lang ang slash t. And then the squared value. So we put it in a close parentheses. So I times I. And then semicolon. Okay? And then I++. Alright. So this is our code. Scanner in n, system.out.print, enter a number, and it will be stored to n. And then we have here parang header lang, the number and then squared values with slash t here. And then our for loop, our loop variable initialization in I is equals to 1 and I is lesser than equal to n, and then I++, and then I plus slash t, I times I. Okay, let's run. If it works. So let's try to put muna 3. Okay, enter number 3, and then ang daming n. Isang slash n lang siguro. And then number 1, and then squared value is 1, number 2 is squared value 4, number 3 squared value is 9. Okay. So I want to change it na isa lang ang isang slash n lang. Okay. So let's run it again. Let's try 10. Okay. So this is our output. Okay. We entered 10 and then this is the squared values. Okay. So let's try to modify our problem. Let's just try, let's say, the number should be if the number should be only from 1 to 50. Yeah. Or 1 to 20 lang siya. Okay. So if the user enters an invalid number, that means below 1 and greater than 20, 21 above, the program must print invalid input. And okay. So dapat from 1 to 20 lang siya. So we can put an if else here in our enter a number. So if n is, diba, ang valid lang niya is, that means from greater or equal to 1, and n is lesser than equal to 20. Okay. So we will put the entire code of this inside the if. So there is a for loop inside the if, and then our else clause here will be for the invalid input. So system.out.println invalid input. Yeah. Okay, so what we did is we put if here. So in our condition is n is greater than equal to 1 and n is lesser than equal to 20. So we will proceed to the printing of the squared values. Else we will print, or the program will print invalid input. Okay, let's try to run. If our code is still working, let's say 3. Okay, so it still works. And let's try to run. Let's say we'll input 21. Okay, it does not proceed to the printing of the squared values because we have a parang input validity. So dapat 1 to 20 lang ang input. So that means 21 is an invalid input based on the problem. Okay? So that ends our discussion of our for loop. Thank you for listening. So I hope you will also watch other videos in relation to computer programming 1. Bye.